So the next segment, Science and Knowledge, Global and Regional Overview of Tropical Peatlands. And we are going to go until 3:45, I believe. Yeah. Just before the coffee break. We have a few interventions, short, powerful interventions coming up. Las siguientes intervenciones son cortas, pero van a estar bastante poderosas, vamos a decirlo así. Y las dos primeras van a ser en inglés, luego tenemos francés, inglés y luego terminamos con español. Tengan por favor sus audífonos en el canal que corresponda. Okay, so without further ado, let me invite you to the floor to invite Patrick Scheel. Okay, so Patrick, can you please introduce yourself and then go ahead with it?
Yes, I can. But now this is on. Hello, everyone. So I hope you had a nice lunch. I guess everybody's still digesting, but I hope we're all fully awake. Yeah, I think our slides are dynamic, so I hope you don't fall asleep. But yeah, so my name is Patrick, and I have been supporting the Global Peatlands Initiative for the past 5 years, and basically I support with everything related to science and to research. And I mainly focus on the science to policy interface and help translate peatland science into diverse knowledge products and tools and resources to inform policy, to guide environmental decision making. And today I'm going to show you an overview of all of the global peatland science products that we have out there that are coordinated, prepared, developed by the GPI partnership. So basically by all of you and also for all of you. So yeah, basically what we do, well, we try to close the critical knowledge gaps that we have identified over time out there. And we have published several flagship publications, well, developed several flagship publications, platforms, tools, and resources. And basically we always want to answer and understand what peatlands are, where they are found, why do they matter, and what type of actions we can do to properly conserve, restore, and sustainably manage them. And the journey began nearly 10 years ago with the Smoke on Water Rapid Response Assessment. And basically here, this was one of the first times that we put peatlands out there in the global agenda, and we talked about fires and understand how fires had different impacts in health, ecosystems, climate, etc. Then, well, I'm just gonna go quickly through some of them. We also developed this peatlands mapping and monitoring together with other partners, and we provided guidance to identify, map, and monitor peatlands. We have our flagship product, the Global Peatlands Assessment, that we developed in 2022 with probably many of you who are here in the room right now. And we also published a summary for policymakers, and we translated it to different languages. And with this one, we brought together the latest science to understand peatland distribution, peatland conditions, and again, how to understand the best ways to conserve these ecosystems. And more than 300 experts from all around the world supported this product. And we thank you because some of you are actually here in this room. And well, we then expanded this knowledge. We produced the Peatland Atlas and the Global Peatland Hotspot Atlas. And we basically synthesize the complex knowledge results from the GPA into accessible information for the general public and, well, for practitioners and for policymakers. So, well, these are just some of the examples that we have developed. We also have several platforms, tools, and resources that I'm going to talk a bit in the next slides. So, yeah, basically, many of these global science products were born and are completely related and supported by the GPI Research Working Group. It was a group established in 2019, and it's co-chaired by the United Nations Environment Programme, and with SRUC, the Scotland Rural University College. And the main objective is to bring together researchers to coordinate science, to identify research priorities, identify funding opportunities, and also to build capacities. And one of the most important achievements was this peatland core domain sets, where we basically established a framework to understand how to measure peatlands in a standardized way and compare it across different regions and across different disciplines. And we also have different training sessions that are uploaded to our GPI YouTube channel. And here we offer free training on different topics, from research methods to field work, planning, organizing workshops with communities, etc. And we also last year developed this evidence synthesis and policy engagement training program, where we equipped researchers with tools to translate complex scientific evidence into simple and designated policy recommendations. And so we invite you to join the research working group. Here we have the QR code, but we have also a designated QR code with all of these and other products in the door for you just to take a picture, and for you to please join and help us improve and create the next steps of the Global Peatland Research Agenda. And I want to talk quickly about this publication that is going to be out in a couple of days, weeks, hopefully. And it's the Peatlands Matter, for evidence synthesis methods and applications to inform peatland policy. So this is way more than a publication, it's a practical methodology to translate science into policy. And it all started with international collaboration with GPI partners, where we conducted a survey with hundreds of experts involved to identify 50 priority questions. Then we basically trained 42 researchers through the evidence synthesis program that I just talked about. And we prioritized 6 specific questions, which eventually were distilled into policy briefs and are going to be published in this publication. And the topics are related to community engagement, carbon and greenhouse gases, climate change, and biodiversity. And this is a very important process for us, because it involves helping researchers to generate, to tell them how the methodology to generate relevant, policy-relevant science, and for the policymakers to have clear results and recommendations. So also I want to share the online global peatland map that we have uploaded in our World Environmental Situation Room. So this is a UNEP digital platform for environmental data. And here it's a very friendly interface for users to interact, scroll, but also to download different data sets on this website to visualize how peatlands are distributed. But this complements with these regional story maps, where we want to produce accessible knowledge products for the wider audiences. And here we're combining different maps and case studies and different visuals, again, to explain why peatlands matter in a very simple, accessible language. And we recently published the Latin America and Caribbean peatlands. So please, again, we have the QR code here, but please come and explore this, this platform. And I think that's, so basically all of these products are developed by the entire GPI partnership, but we want you to understand that basically all of this is for all of us to use. We want governments to use these resources to improve policy, researchers to improve and identify new research priorities, even for donors to assess the priorities that are out there to consider. So please use these resources, ask us if you have any questions. Also consider joining the research working group, And if you have more questions about, please just let me know. But yeah, these resources are for all of you, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick. We have 2 seats here, if someone wants to join. And next up is the turn of Hans Joosten. Are you okay with that one?
Yes. Oh, what is happening here? Yeah, but I'm not Corneille. Huh?
We're going to switch. I think that maybe you didn't make it into the whole stream because maybe you didn't make it into the whole presentation stream. There we go.
Here it is. Yes, I have been asked to tell a little bit more about some science products, the Peatland map, the Hotspot Atlas, and the breakthrough targets. Under the motto, good policies require good science. First, the Global Peatland map. Of course, for global policies, and also for regional and local policies, it is important to know where your peatlands are. So the question is, how are peatlands also worldwide distributed? And then we have some issues. First, that peatlands are extremely diverse. The pictures to the right show peatlands from various parts of the world. They look completely different. They can be completely treeless. They can have forest of 60 meters, etc., etc. The second problem is peatlands are diverse, but they have one thing in common, and that is called peat. Let's not discuss what is peat, but the problem is that peat is under the ground. You cannot see it from above. You cannot address it by remote sensing. And the third, and that's more a political problem, is that peatlands have been defined completely differently, variously, in different parts of the world, in different disciplines, in different countries, with respect to the minimum peat depth that is required to call an area a peatland. So how do you deal with this issue? The Global Peatland map has chosen to say, okay, let's then use multiple methods and data sources to get a solution that is as complete as possible, a possibly complete peatland map, but we do that at the expense of consistency. We do not use one method because one method cannot cover the global peatland distribution. So the Global Peatland map has actually its cradle in the 1990s when the International Mire Conservation Group founded the Global Peatland database. We collected all kinds of data about peatland distribution. This Global Peatland database is currently managed by the Greifswald Mire Center, and since 2012 we have started to make this Global Peatland database also spatially explicit, put it in geographical information system. And that is what we call the Global Peatland map. In 2020, have financed at least it triggered the major update, what we call the Global Peatland Map 2.0, which not only includes peatlands, but also other organic soils, histosoils, or whatever you call them, because it's always difficult to differentiate between these things. It are soils with a big amount of carbon, and we also include there indicative proxies. When we do not have information about soil conditions, we look at, for example, vegetation, hydrological conditions, and the combination of things gives us an impression where peat could be. So the Global Peatland Map 2.0 integrates a vast amount of input data combined with landscape and peatland ecological knowledge. So we know where peatlands can occur. So also the landscape information, for example, the digital elevation model, give an information where peat could be. We are striving for a resolution lower than 1 square kilometer. We have now a 0.9 kilometer raster map freely available. And we keep on going, collecting data and improving the data that we have. At GMC, we had, at the moment, I think 6 people working full-time on the Global Peatland database. And this is how the Global Peatland Database 2.0 looks like now. Yeah, you have to focus in, of course, to see the detail, but here you get an idea what it means to be 3% of the global land cover. Another product is the Global Peatland Hotspot Atlas. That is made by intersecting the Global Peatland Map 2.0 with data on land use, biodiversity, conservation status, climate change, fires, floods, and whatever you can think. Had to visualize the threats and opportunities with respect to peatland conservation and wise use. The first maps were already produced in the UNEP Global Peatland Assessment in 2022, but in 2024 we have extended and updated that to the Global Peatland Hotspot Atlas that you see pictured over there. To give you some idea, it identifies the current and future impacts on essential ecosystem services and biodiversity. It spotlights regions of particular vulnerability, and it highlights the potential for global peatland conservation, restoration, and sustainable use. It addresses all kinds of, here you see a listing of the different maps that are included in the Global Peatland Hotspot